All right.
Okay, so Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, so today I'm going to talk a bit about how Rocket Pool is enabling staking for everyone. I want to look a little bit further into detail into this protocol because yeah, it was really hyped in the matter of how Rocket Pool is actually helping with the decentralization of the actually count of node operators, and yeah, also allowing anyone with as little as 0.01 ether to join the network of this protocol and start earning staking fees. All right, so for those that are not familiar with staking, what staking is, it has to do with Ethereum's consensus algorithm that is proof of stake. And the idea behind how yeah, the consensus is reached on Ethereum is that, like, basically from a top level, validators are chosen to propose a block, and for it to pass, another set of validators that are randomly chosen need to submit an attestation that basically says that, hey, this block is okay, it has a valid format and it can be included into the blockchain. And in order to be a validator, what you usually need to do, and yeah, what you usually need to have is 32 ether that you need to stake on your corresponding node. So you must have this node running, this infrastructure that actually always needs to run on a device. And for that, you need to stake the 32 default ether requirement. And to do this, there are multiple kind of options that you can yeah, consider. And what are these options? The init one, let's say, is the sole staking, in which you earn all the things that you can earn by staking, all the full rewards. And yeah, these are usually the reward that you get for proposing a batch, a block, sorry. And there are also rewards for attestations, and also all the rewards from the fees that are not burned, meaning that usually when you have to pay for a transaction, you have to pay for the base gas fees that are burned. And there is also priority fees that go directly to, in our case, the validator. The thing is that when you do this as a solo staker, yeah, you have your own ether at risk, so to say. And if your validator goes offline, or if you act maliciously, if you tamper with your node software, you can get slashed and get penalized, and you'll be subtracted an amount of ether from what you have staked. And yes, for this, as I mentioned before, you need the 32 ether and also the hardware that runs the execution client and the consensus client. There's also the option for going to a staking as a service platform, which will usually allow you to do the same that is available by solo staking, but without the hassle of also having all this infrastructure needed and maintaining all the infrastructure for doing the work that's going on behind. And usually you would earn the same rewards like at solo staking, but you'll have to pay for the node operation fee. And usually the risks are in that there's the counterparty risk of the service provider, because maybe there's a chance that their servers go down and then your validator goes offline. And when you do this, when you stake through a service, there's usually a separation between how you get access to the Ether that you stake and how you do your activity, your tasks as a validator. And to do the tasks as a validator, you need to give your signing keys to the service. And it can get to the point in which maybe if it's not a very trustworthy service, the service can act maliciously on the behalf of your validator. And another kind of option that is also the case for our main topic today, Rocket Pool, is the pool staking, in which, depending on the method of pool staking, the rewards are accrued. And usually there's a kind of token that you're getting that represents your stake and also the rewards you're getting from the moment you got into the possession of this staking token. And the risks in here are usually smart contract risks and also counterparty, if we can consider that usually these pool stakings also have, let's say, a governance that maybe can act maliciously in some extreme cases, and you can end losing some of your staked Ether. And as I was saying, what you need to do to obtain these staking tokens that are gaining the staking rewards is you need usually to have a wallet and to go to the platform or protocol, say Rocket Pool, and interact with the protocol, deposit your Ether, and mint the underlying staking token. So Rocket Pool, basically what it wants to be is being the base layer protocol for decentralized and trustless Ethereum staking. And this one allows anybody to stake Ether to this network of decentralized node operators. And in this case, there are two sides of a coin. The one side is the ones that want to be paying for service. In this case, it's about the ones that want to stake a little amount of Ether or don't have the capacity to run the node software and to maintain all the infrastructures. And these are going to be the minters of the underlying staking token. And on the other half, we have these entities that would like to actually be paid for the service, and they're going to come along with a bigger stake of Ether. Rocket Pool usually allows for them to come with a 16 Ether stake, and they'll be paired with another 16 Ether stake coming from those that mint the staking token that is called RET. And we'll talk about how they are benefiting from the RET minters in a bit.
I have a short question. So isn't it 8 at this point in time? So they had lowered the amount recently, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they have lowered the amount. However, there are, I think, mini pools that are still made from this 16 Ether provided by node operators and 16 provided by those who minted the RET token. And when they introduced this in an upgrade called Atlas, they can actually do a migration from their 16 ETH mini pools to 8 Ether mini pools.
Okay,
so I think that you can still choose which kind of mini pools you want to bring up.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. So the big picture of how Rocket Pool works is what you see in front. Sorry if you have to squint your eyes to better read what's on this image. So basically, the 6 big components of the protocol is basically the 2 entry points that are the ones that mint RET and stake the Ether. The ones that are coming with the 16/8 Ether to run the node infrastructure. Sorry, and there's also the RPL token that is actually used for when you come as a node and you want to participate to be part of the node operators set. You also have to stake this RPL token, and you need to stake around 10% of what you are staking as Ether as RPL token, because it's used in as a slashing insurance if you, for example, exit the Rocket Pool, the protocol, and you have less than 16 Ether, that RPL is going to become converted into Ether to compensate for what you have lost the protocol. And the node operators that bond RPL to their nodes also get to be a part of the decentralized governance, to be part of the DAO that will actually bring improvements to the protocol. And we'll talk about this in a moment. And there's also an Oracle DAO that is basically a specially curated DAO of around 20 entities that perform exactly like standard node operators, but also have to do some, let's say, additional Oracle tasks. And we'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, about the RET staking. Sorry, I'm going to take some water because I'm a little bit thirsty.
Sure, no problem. Drink as much as you need.
Yeah, so basically the ones that have Ether and no desire to run any node infrastructure, but want to benefit from yeah, also being part of the staking rewards, can come with whatever amount of Ether into the protocol and deposit this amount, and in exchange for that they get the RET liquid staking token. And this token, how it works, it will automatically start to accrue the staking rewards in the form of value. So basically, the RET token will always be more valuable as Ether. For example, 1 Ether will be you can exchange 1 Ether for a lower amount of RET, because the RET token basically yeah, gain value over time and is priced the staking rewards of the protocol are priced in RET's price. And yeah, the value of this token is protected against the node slashing and downtime, because, as I said, node operators will have to stake the RPL on nodes, and that is acting as a collateral for penalties. And the node operators, as I said, to be a node operator, you have to come with 16 or 8 Ether of your own, and to start a validator, to start in this case of the rocket pool is called a mini pool. You will get paired with the difference up to 32 Ether from the RET meters. And basically, because you're doing a favor for the network and you are coming with more Ether than the others, and you're also running the node infrastructure, the protocol has setting that basically you get 15% commission from those that are staking and are getting the RET token. And as I was saying, these entities need to deposit a minimum of 10% of the staked Ether in the form of RPL and up to a maximum of 150% of the stake Ether. And basically, because they come with this, with this token and stake it, and they provide the slashing insurance, they will also be repaid in RPL as a reward. And we'll talk about how much in a bit. The other entity, as I was saying, is the protocol DAO. That basically, it's used to better build the protocol, bring adjustments, and to also manage the treasury of the protocol, and which which initiatives can get funded. And if you have the RPL, sorry, if you're a node and you have this RPL staked as a node, you have a certain voting power. You can come and propose changes. You can vote for the changes, and if a quorum of more than 50% is reached, then these improvement proposals are going to get executed, are going to be brought into the protocol.
And I have a question. What are some of the on-chain toggles or settings, let's say, that you can change through the governance? Like for example, the mini pool staking amount that is required. So for example, when they have created the new mini pools that are accepting 8 ETH instead of 16 ETH, was that done through a setting that was changed through, I don't know, a smart contract call or something like that?
I guess I'm not entirely sure. Maybe, or maybe they. I'm not really entirely sure what kind of settings there can be changed. And I'm not entirely sure if this can be done through entirely on-chain governance alone.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was curious. I'll probably dive into this on my own and find out some of the principles that they follow and how they actually implement the governance part. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry for not knowing it early.
It's fine. Don't worry. So.
And the last piece of the puzzle is the Oracle DAO. And as I was saying, it's a kind of curated DAO in which not anyone can get to enter and be a part of. And basically, what the Oracle DAO is doing, because Ethereum is comprised of the consensus client and the execution client layers. Sorry, and these are two separate chains that currently don't really know how to communicate. In our case, the smart contract doesn't have any info on what the consensus layer is doing. They need to come and update some stats that are not available in the smart contracts. And the two most important ones are the mini pool validator balances, because as I was saying, each validator in the protocol is referred to as a mini pool, and the members need to come and basically post the performance of the validators, like how well did they perform as validators. And that is actually what it's driving the RETH value. And that's how you know basically how much you're going to get when you want to return the RETH to the protocol and receive your Ether and the Ether rewards from staking. That is one stat, and another stat is the RPL to Ether ratio, for basically guaranteeing that when you stake RPL, you're staking a minimum of 10% of the staked Ether in RPL. And basically how this DAO is structured, it's going to also participate in an on-chain governance, which basically allow them to grow as members or decrease as members. So basically, when somebody wants to join, the new members must be invited by an existing member, and this must post a sizable RPL bond to ensure their good behaviors. And if the members reach the quorum of 50% or more, the new member can safely join the DAO. The same goes to if a member wants to leave, they can apply to leave, and if the other members are okay with that, they can leave. Another thing that can happen is that maybe a member wants to replace their current node with a new one and transfer the RPL bond to that. And that can happen if they choose to replace their membership account with a new one and assume the role as their own bond. And what can also happen, you can keep members and vote on that if they are acting maliciously and reporting bad balances or going offline as a validator. Again, if the quorum is reached, the member is kicked. And there can also be members that can propose to improve the protocol with upgrades to the smart contracts. And there can also be settings modifications that members can propose to the DAO, like from the can change the percentage of the quorum required or the RPL bond amount that is required for new members to join. And yes, as I was saying, the node operators and the members of the Oracle DAO are all incentivized with a certain amount of RPL inflations for doing their tasks. And the RPL inflation per year is 5%. And 70% of that inflation is attributed to the node operators. 15% is attributed to the Oracle DAO members, and 50% is attributed to the treasury funding and funding the initiatives. And basically, one can ask, why should you even use a DAO? And there are three big aspects for that. It's because new Oracle nodes can only enter the group after consensus is reached within the existing group. And after proving they meet a certain criteria. There's also the fact of transparent consensus, in which all the decisions must grow through an on-chain proposal. And also the permissionless incentives that basically says that leveraging a DAO allows RPL to be directed to an on-chain pool of Oracle node operators, rather than having to manually distribute rewards earned from performing these duties. And that's what I put in the slides as a presentation. And now I'm going to actually go a little bit through the amount of contracts that, or let's say, how the architecture of the Rocket Pool smart contract looks. So basically, there are a bunch of Rocket Pool contracts that each of the contracts is separated to do the thing it is assigned to. For example, the Rocket Vault that stores Ether held by the network contracts, or the action manager that handles the actioning of RPL / from node operator stake. What we're going to go together through is a little bit through one of the entry functions in the protocol that resides in the Rocket deposit pool. That is the one of the deposit. When you come and you want to deposit your Ether in order to receive the RET token. And there are many more contracts that are involved in doing all the Rocket Pool magic, if you want to say it like that. And before going to the Rocket Deposit Pool contract and have a look at the deposit function, I wanted to talk a little about how Rocket Pool was actually built with the upgradability part in mind, and basically how they built it. They have stumbled upon this concept of eternal storage. What this means is that there's basically a main contract that holds all the variables of the entire contract architecture, and this all reside in the And basically, what am I losing a connection or something? Are you still able to hear me?
From time to time you are breaking up, but it was for a short period of time.
Sorry. So basically, how this works is that in the Rocket Storage contract, what you want to store as variables, you are going to store in these mappings that are from bytes 32 to all the basic data types, string bytes, uint, int, and the rest. Basically, yeah, how you would store things is you would perform the checkak hash of what you want to store. For example, you want to store a contract name of, let's say, piece of contracts. Actually, yeah, a contract that is a part of the contract infrastructure, and sorry for blabbering. We're going to have a look at an exact example in the Rocket node deposit pool contract. There's also some guardians that have some access to do some stuff in here. And there's also modifiers of only latest Rocket network contract can access the storage. So if you're not a up-to-date contract, if you're not an up-to-date contract part of the Rocket pool, if you're a deprecated one, you can't access to modify the storage, for example. And sorry,
I have a question. Who does the upgrades, or who has the permission to do the upgrades? My question is, Alex, since you studied this so far, what do you think? How decentralized is the actual control to updating the protocol? What's your feel on that?
I didn't actually got to that part, but I believe that there's a saying in this by the ODAO and the node operators that are staking the RPL, and bringing up the Rocket pool improvement proposals.
Okay, so that's dependent on the DAO architecture and how votes are designed in there when it comes to upgrading things. Okay.
And how you would normally use the Rocket storage is that there are getters for all the data type variables, and there are also setters for them, and there are also functions that will delete the underlying values. So yeah, they're going to be reset. But we can now go on to the deposit pool contract and have a look a little bit on the deposit function. Okay, so basically the deposit function is is a payable function. You need to send the ether to it, and it has only this latest contract modifier. Another important thing, in this case, the Rocket deposit pool is inheriting from the Rocket base contract that basically will know how to access the storage, and will also have other modifiers that only allow certain contracts to call certain functions. So basically what Rocket base contract is, when you inherit from this contract, you need to tell it that which is the address of the Rocket storage contract and initialize it. After that, whenever you want to retrieve any data or set or delete any data, this is how it looks. This is how you're going to get it. You will basically call the Rocket storage contract and get the underlying values of what you're interested in. Any questions so far? If not, I'm going to go ahead and check the first lines. There's a contract. We're actually going to access the interface to it of the Rocket DAO protocol settings deposit contract, like this. That's how you're going to get the address with the get contract address, and we specify the name of the contract. And what this function does is the following. This is the name of the contract, and the way we're going to get the address of that contract is through the get address. And I was saying, you're going to get the value of the address by giving as a parameter the KK hash of sorry. The way it is stored as a key in this case is called contract address. So if you want to get the address, you have to specify that, it's the contract address I want, and this is the contract name. And if it's populated, then you get the contract address. Did you get the idea so far?
Yeah, so basically there's a repository of different addresses of contracts that represent different components with different functionality. And this central repository can be updated so that you can redirect the calls to whatever, let's say, upgraded version of the contract.
Basically, yes. And this
okay.
Rocket storage contract serves as the main hub. You're going to ask it what you need to find out, the address of which contract you're interested in. In our case.
Yes. Alex T has a question. So contracts are written before custom errors was a thing. It refers to Solidity custom errors. So I'm not sure in what version of Solidity the custom errors were enabled or not.
It's not a question, more just a fact.
Okay, so an observation. Okay, cool. So feel free to unmute yourself on that. So as you see, I keep interrupting Alex, so no problem. We're trying to do this a conversation. So
yeah.
Another thing is, Alex, is there a name of this pattern that you are aware of that I know people can use in their own projects?
Yeah, I believe it's called the eternal storage pattern.
Okay, that's good to know.
All right. And after getting the address of the latest RocketDAO protocol settings deposit contract, we can go ahead and ask if the deposit is enabled. If it's not enabled, we cannot currently do any deposits, and the value of Ether that we are sending through as value must be more or equal the minimum deposit. So I believe that one of the things that the decentralized governance in Rocket Pool can do is, for example, change the settings of which is the minimum deposit. It can be one of the things. All right. I'm going to look up what get balance does in this case. It's not in here. Maybe it's in here. All right. So I was saying there's a Rocket Vault contract that keeps the balances of all the contracts, all the individual contracts, and the get balance will return how much of the balance of Ether of this contract, of the Rocket Deposit Pool contract. All right, and we're going to get the balance of it, and we're adding also the how much Ether the user sent, and we're going to get the max deposit pool size from the RocketDAO protocol settings deposit contract. And if the capacity needed, sorry, I'm also trying to understand a little bit, so bear with me. So I can better explain this. I have gone through this contract, but now I'm a little bit nervous and need to recollect myself.
No problem, man. You can skip them if you don't remember on the spot. So it's interesting. The architecture, the design is indeed very broken down into components of the architecture, is thought to be, let's say, extensible, or at least updatable, upgradable, reusable in some way.
So this Rocket Vault has all the value from Rocket Pool protocol, or each node has its own Rocket Vault contract?
So the Rocket Vault will basically store all the Ether balances of all the contracts in the contract architecture of Rocket Pool. As we were seeing, this contract, Rocket Deposit Pool, has an individual balance. So basically, you want to have a separation of each contract and its Ether balance in this case.
So you can know how much each node has.
Not necessarily each node, but each contract, because there might be a logic of storing the Ether balance for certain contracts, and if there's not enough of Ether stored for this contract, something cannot happen, not necessarily for a node.
Yeah, okay, you're right. For how long this protocol is live on mainnet? Do you know? I saw a contract was written 2 years ago. So I guess around this period of time.
I believe so. I know for certain that it has gone live before the merge.
Of course.
Yep.
So since this all the value is locked in a single contract, did this protocol had any attacks till now?
Any breaches?
Yes.
As far as I know, they haven't.
Nice.
They are also heavily audited by bigger firms like
yeah, I saw that one.
The Consensus Diligence, Sigma Prime, Trail of Bits, and they also have the Immunify campaign going on.
Okay, thank you for your answers.
Alex, you're still trying to figure out the code?
Sorry?
You're still trying to figure out the code? It's fine, it's no problem. So maybe...
Yes, sorry.
Maybe, I don't know, do you think you can skip to some other part?
Yep, all right. As we can see, there is also a kind of deposit fee for when you're depositing. And basically, I think that, this has to do with the RET to Ether ratio, because RET will always have a value that is bigger than the Ether, because it accrues the staking rewards in time, and that reflects in the price. And basically, based on that, you are going to get a certain amount of RETs minted. And the final step is the process of the deposit. Each is going to deposit the Ether in the vault, And I believe that if we have a little look in the vault, there must be some kind of receive function, maybe, hopefully, for having a custom yeah, logic of okay, there's not. my bad. I thought there was a receive function in there. Oh no, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. It's actually called the depository function is called that. Yeah, is going to store the balance of the contract. In this case, the Rocket Pool deposit contract, and add the corresponding value, Ether value. After that, the assign deposits function is called, and what this does is yeah, deposit the amount, I believe, equally spread across some mini pools. Yeah. If yeah, the Rocket DAO protocol settings deposit contract allows it, we can do that in here. And if the assigned deposits are enabled, we're going to go ahead, and there are, yeah, 2 ways, a legacy and a new one, in which you can do it. Let's look at the new one. There are certain settings regarding the mini pool as well, and there are a maximum of assignments that you can do, I believe. That I think that you can't assign to more than this amount of mini pools, the amount that you have. And basically what will happen here is you're going to get the addresses of the mini pools from the Rocket mini pool queue that basically orders as they enter, order the mini pools as they enter, and basically yeah, based on a certain logic that will deduce the amount of mini pools that you can assign the value, the variable deposit amount. You're going to do that and loop through them and deposit that amount. All right. So basically, that kind of was it. Sorry if I was a little bit incoherent. but really, I hope that raising more questions maybe through my presentation will also make you more curious to have a look at the contracts and on how this really works in depth a little bit more. And that would be it.
Cool, thanks, Alex. Anybody, any other questions, either related to the architecture and the way the code is written, or the general way that Rocket Pool works?
I have a more general question, not a technical one. I see that on the APR on the Rocket Pool page is 3.32%. And I'm comparing it with another staking solution with Lido, and it is around 3.9%. How much?
Oh, sorry, 3.9. I want, yes. As far as I know, as I was saying, the node operators will apply this 15% commission on the ones that stake Ether and minting RETH, as opposed to Lido that is only applying 10% commission on what you are producing as staking rewards.
Okay.
And it also has to do with basically the performance of each of the protocols, and how many proposals does do the validators in Rocket Pool have, and how many proposals, and not to forget attestations, do the validators in Lido have.
Yeah, true that. But my question was, since the other solutions offers a higher APR, what is the incentive for a general user to stake with Rocket Pool and not with other solutions with a higher APR?
Yeah, so basically, we should get to the dilemma of which protocol do you think that aligns more with the ethos of decentralization in Ethereum, or basically the way that Rocket Pool operates is giving lower entry for node operators to come and spin up their nodes. They can do that by only staking 8 Ether and the corresponding RPL bond, as opposed to staking the full 32 Ether. So basically it lowers the barrier, and that's why Rocket Pool has around 3,000 node operators, as opposed to Lido that I believe has around 30 node operators. And it also has to do with maybe the client diversity, why we always chant about using clients that are in the lower used, let's say, that are less used, is because we don't want to have a majority of a certain client that has too big usage, because we wouldn't want that to affect, in case of any bugs on that majority client, to make the blockchain come to a halt. For example, there's this rated network site that can contain pretty good statistics. For example, we can go to Lido and have a look at the consensus client distribution. You can see that they're using Prism in a percentage of 31, Lighthouse, Teku, Nimbus, Lodestar. If you go to Rocket Pool, you can see their distribution, and also we can see the annual percentage rates. Let's have a look a little bit at Lido and Rocket Pool. So from let's say from their beginnings, if you look a little bit at that, Lido has a 5.72%, while Rocket Pool has a 5.42%. They are more or less equal or not too far off from each other. And yeah, we can also see an effectiveness rating that basically says how performant they are based on their proposal and attestation effectiveness, and also their slashing records. If you look a little bit at Rocket Pool, we can see that it's kind of low or lower than the others, and maybe we can draw some conclusions that those that stake with Rocket Pool maybe aren't as serious enough or don't maintain their node infrastructure as much.
Okay, cool. Good to see dashboards, all the info in one place.
I'd like also to add something, if I'm allowed.
Go ahead.
Like,
sure.
There was a question, I think, Alex, you asked between like the difference between Lido and Rocket Pool. I think the key difference between the two of them, if you are talking about aligned ethos and what the blockchain promises, I think it's the fact that Lido and Rocket Pool. So the difference here is that Lido has a permission set of validators, whereas Rocket Pool is permissionless in this regard. So this means that anybody can join Rocket Pool as a validator, whereas for Lido, you will need their pre-approval to do so. This also means the huge number of nodes operated by Lido compared to like the huge number of nodes ran by Rocket Pool compared to the low number by Lido.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. I also wanted to say that, but I got lost in thoughts and in the presentation. But yes, that's pretty much it. The big difference between these two.
Yeah, very good point. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay, then. So if there are no more questions, I'd like to make a short announcement. So that is general related to the meetups that we do. So we might start doing physical meetups pretty soon in Cluj. So if you are going to be around, so just keep an eye on the meetup.com page, and you'll probably see that we are starting to do physical meetups. So we could target probably, I don't know, one meetup a month, or probably one meetup every 2 months. Yeah, so Alex is asking about the Twitter page. Another thing that we want to do, yes, we are basically absent on everything that is related to social media. So we only have the meetup.com page. So soon we'll start working on that too. We'll do a short brainstorm with members of the core team. So basically, these are the 5 speakers that did the presentation so far, and then we'll do a brainstorm to talk about different administrative aspects. So, for example, how to do social media. Should we do a Twitter account, a Telegram account, LinkedIn? And probably we'll start dividing some tasks like, I don't know, uploading videos to YouTube channel and so on. Creating a YouTube channel that is strictly bound to Cluj Ethereum developers. And there are some rebranding ideas. We have reserved some domain names. There are some news that can come in here. So we are looking for a new name for our meetup so that it will be more in similar to the big meetups outside of Romania. Then we'll take a look at what we can do with visual aspects. Again, visual items related to branding. Then probably a website. So there's a lot of work ahead of us. We'll keep a backlog of tasks, and probably at some point we'll ask members or people who join to probably help us with some of the tasks. But yes, for that we'll need to start with the communication channels, Telegram, Twitter, and so on. So keep an eye on that. We'll have some updates on that soon. Yeah, so besides that, if there are no other questions on the general side, Alex, thanks a lot. So this was an in-depth walkthrough. Thanks for the general presentation. So it made sense. So it was easier to follow for non-technical people in the first half of the presentation. And thanks for the taking the time to study the actual code and the design pattern, the architecture that they have used to structure their code. Yeah. So guys, thanks a lot for joining. So see you next during the next meetup.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the presentation.
Yeah, thanks a lot.